So far, it's been really awesome this year. Everyone's working really hard. Everyone's very tired at this point. This is kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, this competition, after a very, very long 3 months of training. It's been going very well. The team is a young team. We're mostly freshmen this year. We brought in a lot of new recruits. So it's been a lot of work in progress kind of thing, but things are really starting to click right on time for this competition that we're heading to in Arizona. So far so good, but it's been a lot of work and everyone's very tired, including the coach.
Maybe kind of describe your goals or what you're looking to get out of it.
Well, our goals are, we're in sync with Coach Wender and the swimming team. We want to contribute to their ultimate goals, which is winning a national championship eventually. So that means qualifying our divers. That's our big goal. Our individual goals is to qualify individual divers for the qualifying meet, so that they can have a chance to get into the national meet and we can score points for the swimmers. That's our ultimate goal. For some of the freshman divers, it's kind of a work in progress year. So we want to get them to that point where they're feeling confident and that they can, do some, score some points for us at the dual meets. But for our veterans, who I'm sitting next to now, Isaiah Cheeks and Kyra, who've both not only qualified for nationals, but scored major points for us. Obviously, Isaiah, national champion, and Kyra, her freshman year, missed finals by 3 points. Amazing. We have high expectations for them, but they're certainly up to the task, and they've become leaders on this team. With this young team of ours. And so that's our goals for our veterans.
Isaiah, like Coach mentioned, defending national champion, you've got your qualifying already out of the way.
Yeah.
What does that take some pressure off you? Or?
Yeah, it definitely takes some pressure off since we have to qualify twice. I just have to get my sixth dive. But I think with that pressure off and seeing how these new rules are happening, it's definitely more of a challenge, I would say. And for me personally, I like a challenge, and in all honesty, I'm ready for it.
Kyra, like Coach mentioned, a great freshman year, and now you're kind of the veteran after being behind some stellar seniors last year. What is it like to be the leader on a pretty young team and still being pretty young yourself?
I'd say it's definitely unexpected. I last year was not expecting to go anywhere near as far as I did, and I'm really proud that I did. I think this year I'm really proud of the freshmen, so I like being like quote unquote a role model for them, like they're upperclassmen, even though I'm not an upperclassman. And so I'm like, it's like a really weird spot to be in, because like I was looking up to these upperclassmen and they all left, and I was like, well, who am I supposed to look at now? Because like there's nobody above me. But I have Cheeks, even though he's a guy diver, he's still one of my upperclassmen, and I still look up to him, and I think the freshmen look up to all of us in that regard. So I think it'll be an exciting year for all of us to kind of test the waters and see where we all make it to. My goal is nationals, obviously. I would like to make finals this year. Those 3 points are a little bit of a slap in the face, but definitely.
That I reminded her.
Yeah, I like to try and forget that it was only 3 points, because it's a very small margin in diving, but.
What's it like for both of you going to compete against a lot of different schools, including a lot of Division I divers?
For Division I, it's kind of intimidating when you think about it at first, but then we get there and that scenery is basically how it is if we were at nationals. And knowing that experience at nationals and then going to meet like NAU with all these other competitive divers, it's gonna show us that we need to always work hard no matter what. And also that when we are going against these divers, to never be ashamed of where we come from, even though we are a D2 and we're going against a bunch of D1s.
I'd have to agree with Isaiah. I think, like you said, it can be very intimidating, especially for, like, it's your first year in college. You're competing against these D1 divers. You came in for a D2 school. Like, this is intimidating. There are a lot, like, the bigger schools, and so in your mind they have these bigger dives. But when you break it down, we're all, like, learning the same things, and a lot of us do have similar lists. So it kind of, like, takes some of the pressure off. But I like the D1 experience because it, like Cheek says, it's very national style meets, and I think it's a really good prep meet So I think it'll be really good for all of us.
Yeah, I mean, Isaiah, you come here, and I mean, everybody in the nation, you know, you have a guy ahead of you that wins everything he dove in, and everyone's like, well, thank God he's gone. You know, somebody besides Mace is going to win a national diving title, and here you come.
Yeah.
Was there pressure on you even more last year to be the next guy?
It definitely.
And then the next guy, and then
Yeah, it definitely was a shocker because after Romley left, I had to live or make something of myself and live up to that reputation that he kept doing each board. So when I got to nationals, I was like, okay, let's just shoot for a really high placement. I didn't really think I was going to get first, especially because Julio from UND, he was destined to be the next Rom just for a different school. So when I had won 3-meter, it was just, whoa, that was a crazy experience. It just slapped me in the face. So for this year, I'm thinking that I just have to continue to work hard and try and make sure that Mavericks bring home another national title.
why not, right?
Exactly.
It's been done before.
Yeah.
It's just, but yeah, the tradition of the diving in this program. I mean, yeah, everybody kind of looks at what the swimmers has done, and you look at the divers, and some programs it'll be all mainly swimming, and they've got a few divers. This program, you come in, you're expected to get to nationals as a freshman, and find those other 3 points as a sophomore, and not to bring that up again. But, you know, do you guys kind of thrive on that? Is we're supposed to be this good?
Yeah, I would say honestly last year, like Allie and Joe pushed me a lot. I wanted to beat them every meet. That was like, I want to beat Joe. I want to beat Allie. I want that first place. And now that they're gone, I want to beat myself. I've set this like precedent for myself. I know what I can do, and I have an idea of how far I can go. So I want to excel beyond that, and I want to be a better diver than I was last year.
Coach, all the freshmen, how do you guide them into and through the program and get them to the level that the two sitting next to you?
That's it. And that's the goal. You know, I mean, we recruit, you know, we recruit very hard. I recruited hard last year, just knowing I was going to have so many graduating great divers and, you know, big footsteps to fill, right? So it was important that I recruited and I brought in the right athletes that could handle the workload and, you know, the time that it takes to work. And like I said in the beginning, it's a work in progress, and we have short-term and long-term goals for them. But they're handling it well, and like I said, we've kind of gotten through the hardest part of the season, those first 3 months, especially for freshmen who've never done it before. And I was telling them yesterday, we had a team meeting after practice, that, you know, we go to these D1 meets with Air Force and BYU and now NAU, and that's by design because that's kind of the competition we see at nationals, and we're trying to prep them for that atmosphere. And I told them that they should be proud of themselves, and that no matter who we're up against, I don't care if it's BYU or NAU or who it is, there's no one on that pool deck that works harder than these guys. There might be people that work as hard, but nobody works harder than these guys. We're at it 20 hours a week. They put the effort in, and they should be proud of themselves. And they should go into NAU feeling confident. And that's how we're gonna dive. We're gonna do our best, and we're gonna have fun and be confident. We're gonna show NAU what we can do, what CMU D2 divers can do. And that's our goal for this week. And we're gonna prep them for big competition at nationals. That's the idea.
All right, guys, question of the week. Thanksgiving coming up. So what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Isaiah, you take it.
You want me to go first? I'd probably say macaroni and cheese. My mom makes a really good mean macaroni and cheese.
Well, when I was growing up, it was my mom made this string bean cream of mushroom with the onion rings on top. That was by far my favorite. That's what we looked forward to. It was the only time of year we ever got it, so it was probably the other part of it, but definitely that was my favorite.
Well, my parents are from Idaho, so I can honestly say potatoes, any form, scalloped, mashed, I don't care if it's a potato, it's my favorite.